Oh, after 10 years in the making, the Obama Presidential Center officially opened its doors to the public yesterday. The Juneteenth opening saw scores of people from all over the country coming together to celebrate the life and legacy of the Obamas and offered a sense of hope as we live through a dark political time in our country.
I run a mentoring organization for girls, and I feel like when they come to see this space, they know that it's hope for us.
I'm only 23 years old, so every day I come outside, I have a direct replication of Obama and all the work he put in for America and for my people every single day. You can't miss it when you come outside the door. It's amazing.
We're only 250 years old, so I'm hoping that in the long run, we're going to look back and say that hope is alive, because that's what America was built on.
The first 100 visitors got a big surprise when they were personally greeted by the former president and former first lady. In an exclusive interview with our colleague Michelle Norris, Michelle Obama expanded on what she ultimately hopes visitors will take away from their experience at the new Presidential Center, located where she grew up and they started their family, the South Side of Chicago.
What will resonate for people of all backgrounds is they will see themselves in these floors. America will see itself. And I'm saying all of America, regardless of political party, regardless of whether you voted for us or like us or have nasty things to say about us or not, or love us, you will walk through these halls and you will feel seen here.
Former President Obama also sat down with Michelle and discussed what American values mean to him as the current White House paints a very different picture of our nation's history and legacy.
What's striking is right now we've got a president in the White House who seems to have embraced and embodied, in a way we haven't seen in a very long time, this other story. I am glad that we are planting a flag, that we are hopefully creating a repository, a vessel through which people can be reminded of this better story. Maybe a way to think about the Presidential Center and what at least we tried to create is some touchstones, some markers, some tools for people to just be reminded of, oh yeah, this is what our democracy is. This is who we are.
You're the only one of us that was actually there on Thursday. You're the only one of us that's been to the actual center and walked through that. As someone who has covered the Obama administration, as someone who understands deeply what it meant and what it means to this country, what does the center mean to you?
The center is really incredible. The president gets to it in those remarks. But when we think about this is the 250th anniversary of this country, and as we're going to talk with Eddie Glaude in the next hour, the country tends to, in these big anniversaries, erase or ignore the contributions of African Americans. And this center, the Obama Presidential Center, rising out of Jackson Square Park, there in the south side of Chicago, 19.3 acres. This is it's not a library, it's not just a museum, it's a whole community center type thing. It will be a permanent reminder to the country that, yes, there was a former president, but that former president and first lady and that family were black. Yeah. And here are the contributions that they made to this country. And more importantly, and this is what's so important about, oh my God, that's so sweet. More importantly, when you go to this center, only 3 of the floors of the museum requires a paid ticket. And that's where you see the exhibits. Everything else is free and open to the public. And when you go into those exhibits, comparatively speaking, very little is spent on talking about his administration in terms of just square footage. He talks about the accomplishments, the things they didn't get done. But I would say half, if not maybe slightly more than half, of the exhibition space is reminding us of who we are, how we got here as a country, their piece of it, and then where we need to go. The whole center is where we could go. And the center is all about moving forward, training the next generation of leaders, not just in this country, but around the world, to fulfill a vision that the Obamas have, but I also think a vision that we all have of what a happy, inclusive, generous, warm, welcoming world is like. And for this to be happening at a time when in this country there's such a culture of meanness and vindictiveness, not just from our elected officials, but from our government. Being on that plaza on Thursday was it was a reminder of who we were and who we can still be. There was an atmosphere of joy. It was like a giant family reunion. People were just happy to see each other again. And I hope that spirit continues.
What was the highlight?
The highlight, actually, one of the highlights, well, several, but getting to shake hands with Dave Chappelle. And because he's one of I love him as a comic. I sat behind Tyler Perry and got to take a selfie with him, but I forgot to ask him about Beauty in Black and when the next season is coming out, because my mother wants to know.
Well, you have to call the man. I would say that I think it reminded us that it is a choice to be hopeful. It is a choice to change the country, and this is also a choice to allow things to happen to the country.
Right.
But you can check out the MS Now special, Hope Comes Home, inside the Obama Presidential Center tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Of course, that is Michelle Norris with the two Obamas.